Our church theme is taken from Matthew chapter 16. The words of Jesus Christ. I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Very powerful, very strong, very positive, very triumphant words. I've chosen to merge these with another portion of scripture found in John chapter 16 that says, in this world you will have tribulation, but I have overcome the world. Now I have been thinking and reflecting on this portion of scripture even as I prepare to come and give the word in this church. Now we look at the second passage first. We look at John 16 first. When did Jesus spoke these words? These were actually the last moments of Jesus Christ. He has washed the disciples' feet. He has conducted the Holy Communion with them, the Last Supper, and he was praying for them. It was the last moment, the last days of Jesus Christ on earth. So he told the disciples, be of good cheer. In this world you will have tribulation. I have overcome the world. If we were to put our feet into the shoes of the disciples, if we were there at that time, when we hear these words, how would we feel? I think the disciples will be very happy, isn't it? The disciples will be very positive, very motivated. But we must remember that within 24 hours or maybe even less, Jesus was betrayed by one of his disciples, Judas, and then subsequently soldiers came and arrested him. They dragged him from one court to another court. They flogged him, and ultimately they crucified him, they nailed him to the cross. So if we were the disciples at that time, after hearing Jesus Christ say this word, in this world you will have tribulation, behold, I have overcome this world, I think we will be very confused, isn't it? At one moment Jesus said, I have overcome the world. The next moment he was arrested, he was flogged, and he was crucified. I think if I was one of the disciples, I would be very confused. What is it? Did Jesus say something wrong? Is it something that I didn't understand? He said he will overcome the world, but yet they caught him and they dragged him up to Golgotha, up to Calvary to crucify him. So that is my understanding as I reflected on John 16. I also took some time and reflect on Matthew, on the words of Jesus Christ again, I will build my church and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. When I look at this portion of scripture, I want to ask myself, so what church can I refer to that I can say these words has applied to them? The closest church or the closest churches will be the 7 churches found in the book of Revelation. And the 7 churches that is found in the book of Revelation chapter 2 and chapter 3. If we remember our eschatology, if we remember our study of the book of Revelation, the commands were not very positive. To one of the church, God says, you have lost your first love. To another church, God says, you held on to the doctrines of Balaam. To another church, the words that came to them was, you have a reputation that you are alive, but actually you are dead. And to one more church, God used the word, you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, and I will spit you out of my mouth. So that was a condition of the few churches mentioned in the book of Revelation. And some of us, I think, if we have gone for tours in Istanbul or Turkey, one of the things that will be offered to us will be a tour of the 7 churches. Am I right? And what do we see when we go to these places where the 7 churches are? What we see is actually piles of rocks, ruins. Now probably by this time, there will be questions in our mind. So when Jesus Christ said, I will build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail against it, what does it really mean?